Hello, loves. We're gonna do a play around with all of the books that I read in 2022 stat sort of video. Chillax, not super planned out. It is 2 a.m. here right now. I woke up and I just wanted to... That moment when you're trying to find an eloquent way of explaining your situation when in reality... I just wanted to play with my books, okay? So that's what we're gonna do. Now, first off, before we rearrange everything and explain what's going on, I ended up reading 118 books this year. I do not have all of them behind me. It looks like I have 96 out of the 118 books that I read, so we'll be working with what I have to get a visualization of some of these stats. Apparently, I read over 40,000 pages in 2022. Like I said, 118 books, and I finished my last book on December 15th, and I haven't read anything since. It is currently the 30th. I'm probably not going to read anything until next year. Okay, so I was wrong. I ended up reading 2.5 books that day, and then another 1.5 the next day, bringing everything up to 122 books. There are a bunch of things that I didn't finish. They're not included here. That's it for the disclaimers. Let's get into the visualization of all of my stats. First off here, this is really sad to me, but we have my visualization of straight books, these 3 stacks, versus my LGBTQIA plus stack, which clearly shows I need to read more books with like LGBTQIA plus representation. I'm actually surprised that Sweet Hands is here. I don't actually remember that being in the book, but I saw that on Storygraph, so it's there. There is possibility that some of these might have some LGBTQIA plus representation. It wasn't obvious to me, so. And there is at least one book that I read that I don't physically have, but it's like, it's not gonna change the stack that much, so like, heartbroken. Oh, probably where I do shine is POC books. I believe I've read a lot of those, so let's I think this is a mix. I don't know if it's the author. I think it's the illustrator. Feeling a little proud. Okay, next up we have POC versus white authors, and then this stack of 3 books in the middle is a mix where there are 2 authors / illustrators who worked on it, one being white and one being a person of color, so yeah baby. And then because I'm just curious and I identify as black, I am mixed. My mother's Jamaican, I'm a black person. I'd like to see how many of my POC books are by black authors, because I don't think it was very high last year, but I think it's high this year. Okay, focusing on these 3 stacks, these 2 are books all by black authors, and then these are by other POC authors. So that's actually surprising to me. I think last year this would have been a lot smaller because I was just struggling to find books by black authors, but I guess I was collecting them and I just hadn't gotten around to reading them yet. And then a lot of these have come out this year. I think this came out this year. I think all 4 of these came out this year. Maybe that's it. Razorblade Tears maybe came out this year. House of Hunger did. Yeah, so I guess it wasn't like that they came out this year. I don't know. That's it for that. I'm not gonna know how to classify some of these. I don't remember anything about this book. Like, I have to look up my review because I literally don't remember anything. And I know I read it. Nothing. 0. Nada. Don't all fall. We all fall down. Struggle Bus. Okay, so here are our genres I did struggle. We have horror, thriller, mystery, these two stacks. These two stacks are fantasy for the most part, with some like weird stuff in here. This stack is supposed to be like literary fiction, contemporary, and historical. Also with a little bit of like true crime. I don't know, that one's confusing. And then romance and nonfiction. I should mention, I am surprised by how little romance I have here, but a lot of the fantasy books also had romance in them, so I didn't feel deprived of my romance love. Also, I love the idea of fantasy romance, so I'm good. Okay, and then I guess a 3-section, books I love, books that were cool, and books I didn't like. Okay, for this one, we have books I loved, books I liked, and books I didn't really like. I don't know if it's fully accurate, but it gives you a general idea. There are some books that I really liked here, and some books that I felt pretty meh about, and then books that I loved, and then books that I didn't really like. Okay, and I guess that's kind of everything. I hope you found this to be interesting or enjoyable. I know I was all over the place. Maybe next year if I do this again, I will try and structure it. If there's any stats that I missed that you would be interested in knowing about, let me know and I might include that next time. Also, let me know about how many books you read and what sort of things you're super proud of. Like, I'm proud that I did read a majority of books by POC authors this year. I want to continue to do that next year as well. And I'm just excited to see what 2023 has in store. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. It is still pretty early. I actually think I might go back to sleep. So I will catch you in the next video. Until then, bye!